Flipper, flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he.
There were 5 female dolphins who collectively played the part of Flipper. I captured the 5 dolphins myself.
The entire crew turns to with battle station teamwork. When the porpoise is sighted, not a moment can be lost. The men handle this creature with infinite care. She seems to sense that she has come home, that no harm will come to her now. She is safe.
Rick, before you became a marine activist, you were a dolphin trainer before. What actually motivated you to become a dolphin trainer?
I started off capturing dolphins. My first day on the job at the Miami Seaquarium was capturing dolphins, and I became a trainer. So I used to capture them and train them. Now I do the complete opposite, untrain them and put them back in their normal environment. What changed me? It really changed on the first Earth Day, 1970. I had been training capturing dolphins for about 10 years, and I never really looked at the mortality rate, how many dolphins. And one day, a dolphin by the name of Clown died at the Miami Seaquarium, and myself and some of the other trainers had Clown in the stretcher. She was dead, and we were taking her back to the graveyard, we called it. And we couldn't find a place to dig a hole and put Clown in the ground. The graveyard was full. It was like a ding moment for me. I realized, started thinking about how many dolphins that I captured, trained them, did shows with them for a while, and then we would go to the graveyard with them. And so it was things like that that turned me around. It wasn't one thing. There were several things like that.
And then one of them, Kathy, died in your arms, is that right?
Well, they all died, but Kathy, she committed suicide. And she was the one who I thought of as Flipper because she played the part more than the others. I would say 90% of it was Kathy, yeah. The thing that turned me around was the death of Flipper, of Kathy. And she was really depressed. I could feel it. I could see it. And she committed suicide in my arms. I know that's a very strong word, suicide, but you have to understand dolphins and other whales are not automatic air breathers like we are. Every breath they take is a conscious effort. And so they can end their life whenever life becomes too unbearable by not taking the next breath. And it's in that context I use the word suicide. She did that. She swam into my arms and looked me right in the eye and took a breath and didn't take another one. And I just let her go, and she sank straight down on her belly at the bottom of the tank. The next day, I was in the Bimini jail for trying to free a dolphin at the Lerner Marine Laboratory. That's how I reacted to it. I was going to free every captive dolphin I could. I spent 10 years building that industry up, and I spent the last 35 years trying to tear it down. When I started out, there were only 3 dolphinariums. Today, it's become a multi-billion-dollar industry. And all of these captures, you help create the largest slaughter of dolphins on the planet.
So was that the moment you decided to become a dolphin activist?
It was. In looking back, that I realized that was the moment, but at that moment it wasn't. I wasn't thinking about. I didn't even know what an activist was. There was no activism. This was before Earth Day, 1970, mind you, and so it wasn't like I planned this career or something. You know, this is not a career. This is just, you know, it's like a series of phone calls. Somebody would call and say, well, there's a dolphin in trouble. Will you come help us? And so I would go. I never planned on being an activist. One thing leads to another. And now if there's a dolphin in trouble, anywhere in the world, my phone will ring.
Rick is world famous for his work with dolphins. The first time I connected with him in recent years was on a trip down to Nicaragua. There were 2 dolphins in a swimming pool filled with their own excrement. Rick somehow enlisted the military forces of Nicaragua. The dolphins were put on a helicopter, and then out to sea we go, and the dolphins are released.
If you're going to capture these dolphins out of the wild and bring them into captivity, there are people who will set them free.
I feel somewhat responsible because it was the Flipper TV series that created this multi-billion-dollar industry. It created this desire to swim with them and kiss them and hold them and hug them and love them to death. And it created all these captures.
Why is capturing dolphins and training them to do tricks in parks so wrong?
Well, it's very violent for one thing, the capture process, and there's no need for it because there's no link between the dolphin show and conservation. If you go to SeaWorld or Marineland, they'll tell you the reason we do this is so that we can sensitize the public. If the public sees the dolphin show, they're going to be sensitized and they're going to protect them.
Right.
Well, it sounds logical, but there is no connection between the dolphin show and conservation. And you only have to look at Japan to see the proof. Japan has 50 dolphinariums. 50. That's more than all of Europe. And yet they have the largest slaughter of dolphins on the planet going on. There's 127 million people. Most of those people have seen a dolphin show, and yet they do nothing to stop the dolphin slaughter.
คุณริกใช้เวลาประมาณ 30 ปีแรกของชีวิตในการฝึกโลมานะคะแล้วก็อีก 40 กว่าปีหลังในการต่อต้านการล่าหรือว่าการฝึกโลมาต้องการที่จะปล่อยโลมากลับคืนสู่ธรรมชาติให้หมดค่ะสัปดาห์หน้ามาดูกันต่อนะคะว่า The Cove จะจบยังไงรวมทั้งมาฟังมุมมองของคุณริกด้วยค่ะสำหรับสัปดาห์นี้สวัสดีค่ะ